I have made a man from the Lord God.
Thy name shall be called Cain.
The meaning of Cain is possession.
When Cain spilled the blood of brother Abel, that's when the first of earth's killings began. Whatever reason the Lord rejected Cain's sacrifice, it was then he became a wanted man. A mark was set upon his forehead to protect him from his fellow man. Cain journeyed east of the Garden of Eden, but he could never wash the blood from his hands. In the beginning, when God created heaven and earth, to the ending, in Revelation, our faith has been put to a test. Cain's ancestors continued in the ways of evil. Cain's deeds became bloodily multiplied. Earth had become corrupt and filled with violence. God's act of vengeance was close at hand. And the Lord said unto Noah, the flood shall come. Take thy house quickly and go to the ark. For what I have created I shall now destroy. I shall cleanse the very face of the earth. In the beginning, when God created heaven and earth, to the ending, in Revelations, our faith is being put to a test. Famous ship in history, where it lies in an eternal bed of ice. In 55, wood 5,000 years old truly, was found on the mountain Ararat. And so God set his boat way up in the clouds, as a covenant between the earth and he. And I will remember my promises to you, my children, but will you remember your promise to me? In the beginning, when God created heaven and earth, to the ending, in Revelations, our faith is being put to the test. I know. Once there was a king called Nimrod, the type of man the people adored. He hath taken the earth, called it his own. Nimrod has called himself God. No power is greater than Nimrod's, the crowd sang. He stores thunder, wears lightning like a Jew. He has taken the earth, called it his own. His glory shines way beyond the moon.
The glory of Nimrod shines beyond the sun. There is none greater than he in earth or heaven.
But God looked down and saw this madness, seen his children behaving with great disgrace. Your tongues will be forever garbled. You will be scattered all over the earth. Nimrod fired his arrow straight at heaven. The crowd waited anxiously. But God proved he was much more mightier. No power is greater than he. All the people were now scattered to every single corner of our earth. They now spoke in Greek, Hebrew and Latin. The Tower of Babel was left in a mess.
Am I not Nimrod? And my voice is your commandment.
God bent the arrow of Nimrod. There is nothing the Lord he can't do. For all you sinners who won't listen, the worst is being kept for you. God broke the bow of Nimrod, sent lightning back in his face. Now you know why we have so many different languages all over our so-called human race. God, he looked down, saw this madness, seen his children behaving with great disgrace. Your tongues will be forever garbled. You will be scattered all over the earth. Once there was a king called Nimrod, the type of man the people adored. He has taken the earth, called it his own. Nimrod has called himself God. No power is greater than Nimrod's. He stores thunder, wears lightning like a Jew. He has taken the earth, called it his own. His glory shines way beyond the moon. But God broke the bow of Nimrod. There is nothing the Lord can do. All you sinners who won't listen, the worst is being kept for you. God looked down and saw this madness, seen his children behave with such disgrace. Their tongues will be forever garbled. They will be scattered all over the place. Abraham died aged 175, but his memory forever lives on. To Hebrews, he was the beginning of their identity, child. To Muslims, he was a friend of God. And the Lord said, the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah are so great, I shall rain down brimstone and fire. And all the inhabitants of the cities of vice will die for the sexual desire.
Also destroy the righteous with the wicked. Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city, wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein?
Sarah, she died, aged 125, and was buried in a cave of stone. Rumors that the great King David would one day call this cave his home. Now we've got a strange connection of a sacrifice one-on-one. Didn't God stop Abraham killing Isaac? Yet no one helped save God's son.
If I find 50 righteous within the city, I will spare all the place.
not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet not this once. Peradventure, 10 shall be found.
Abraham died, age 175, but his memory forever lives on. To Hebrews, he was the beginning of their identity, child. To Muslims, the friend of God. And the Lord said, the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah so great, I shall rain down brimstone and fire. And all the inhabitants of the city of vice will die for the wicked desire.
He's just 16 years old. Leave him alone, they say. Except rain bathrooms, who don't know what love is yet. But I want you to know, if I could fly, I'd pick you up, I'd take you into the night and show you love like you've never seen, ever seen. It's like having a dream where nobody has a heart. It's like having it all and watching me fall apart. I would wait till the end of time for you and do it again. It's true, can measure our love. There's nothing to compare it to. But I want you to know, if I could fly, I'd pick you up, I'd take you into the night and show you love like you've never seen, ever seen. Mommy and Daddy says it's a shame you are in a crane, but it's no game. You say you're in love, and I know it's true. They think I'm too young, but I love you too. Oh, you know the love I have for you is a love that's really pure and true. Don't you know that you're my guiding light? When I got you, everything is right. Two feelings that are strong and more than before. And we all miss it, we just can't take no more. To my heart, that's a bubble, and I can't take no more. Right, you money carry your love you wanna share. Ooh. He's just 16 years old. Leave him alone.
Joseph and the famous coat he once wore. Left for dead, sold into slavery. Let us dream a famous dream once more. The birds ate the bread off the baker's head. No one could decipher or taste. Joseph replied, in 3 days you shall die, and the birds eat the flesh from your face.
Joseph was brought unto Egypt.
In a prison he did reign.
Jacob was deep in grief in Israel.
His brothers would bear their shame. Cast your fate to the wind, Pharaoh. Look to the depths of the sea. Store up your grain for bad times. I'll say a prayer for thee. 7 thin cows ate 7 fat ones. The Pharaoh's dreams remained the same. No one could give any reason. The Rock of Israel was making his name.
Then the chief butler remembered Joseph's dream interception.
The cup in the Pharaoh's hand.
The Hebrew was brought before Pharaoh.
Through God's wish this man would understand. And the famous coat he once wore. Left for dead, sold into slavery. Let us dream a famous dream once more. Today our earth is slowly dying. Found in Africa and the Middle East remain the same. No one gives a damn to what's really happening. Doesn't the story remain the same?
When I realized in my spirit and in my heart that God had accepted me in spite of all the bad things I had done, that God had forgiven me, that He had been waiting to come into my heart, and indeed He had come in. And from that moment, it was a journey going upwards, slowly, steadily, but it was a journey going upwards.
I am Simeon, an old man who has waited long to see his salvation. And now my eyes have seen the child who will bring the salvation thou hast prepared before all people. A light of revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of thy people.
Mary was shocked when told she'd be the mother of Jesus. But to Joseph, she wasn't yet wed. And to Elizabeth would be born John the Baptist. Both he and Jesus would meet a fateful bloody end. John preached way deep into the desert. He was a voice in the wilderness crying, make straight the way of the Lord. For I can baptize you with only water. The Messiah that's coming can do it with love. Now King Herod ordered the deaths of all the newborn. So to Egypt, Mary and Joseph fled. They would not spend long out there in their exile, for soon the great murderer Herod, he would be dead. Oh, it's a day, hallelujah, it's a day for And I myself have two very young children. They mean the world to me, everything I've got. When I see famine in Africa and children dying, I understand now the things that they have not. Mary was shocked when told she'd be a mother, but to Joseph, she wasn't yet wed. And to Elizabeth would be born John the Baptist. Both he and Jesus would meet a fateful bloody end. When John preached way deep into this desert, he was a voice in the wilderness crying, make straight the way of the Lord. Jesus was given a crown of thorns. For John, they cut off his head. John was in the Isle of Patmos. He was in the spirit of the Lord our God, seeing the Lamb with 7 golden candlesticks shining radiantly, the door of heaven open for John to observe. 7 angels before God with 7 golden trumpets, and yet another angel had the golden censer of God. He filled the censer with fire from the altar of heaven, and cast it to earth where fire met blood. Hail and fire mingled with blood, my friends, and the third part of the trees were all burned. And a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. Fell a great star from heaven, burning like a lamp. It fell on the third of the rivers and all waterfalls. The third part of the moon, sun, and stars were all darkened. The star that fell from heaven held the keys of God. And then came out of the smoke locusts of the earth, and unto them was given many great power. They were commanded, touch no greens of the earth, but find the men who don't bear the seal of God in the hour. And in these days shall men seek death, but not find it. They shall desire to die, but no help shall come. For those men who do not bear the seal of God upon their forehead, there is nowhere on earth you can run. John was in the island of Patmos. He was in the spirit of the Lord our God, seeing the Lamb with 7 golden candlesticks shining radiantly, the door of heaven opened for John to observe. 7 angels before God were given 7 golden trumpets, and yet another angel held the golden censer of God. He filled the censer with fire from the altar of heaven, and cast it to earth where fire met blood. Hail and fire mingled with blood, my friends, and the third part of the trees were all burned. And a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. And in these days shall men seek death but not find it. They shall desire to die, but no help shall come. For all those clans who listen. God is after you, my son.
Babylon the Great is fallen and is become the habitation of devils and the home of every foul spirit.
Babylon the Great is fallen, and the beast and all its charms. For those who worship the beast and his false image will bear a mark on his forehead or hand. He shall drink the wine of God's anger. He shall be tormented in sulphurous flame. For those of you who did not keep God's commandments could never imagine the pain. You'll never stand to pay. You bear the mark of Cain. You burn eternal flame. You'll never feel the rain.
Son of a Monday, born on a Monday, christened on a Tuesday, married on a Wednesday, ill on a Thursday, worse on a Friday, died on a Saturday, buried on a Sunday. That was the end of Solomon Grundy.
For thou alone art holy. For thou alone art God. Nations shall worship in thy presence. Great and marvelous is thy word. Down with you, daughter of Babylon. Never again shall men call you great. Strip off your skirt, bare your thighs, and wade the rivers. For your shame came much, much too late. So much for all you magicians, fake prophets, and all you devil sons. For there will be no place for you, the wicked. Your warning has finally come. Babylon the Great has fallen, and the beast and all his charms. Those who worship the beast and his image will bear a mark on his forehead or head. He shall drink the wine of God's anger. He shall be tormented in sulphurous flame. For those of you who did not keep the Lord's commandments, you'll never imagine the pain.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal on him. And he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Come hither. I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife.
And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God. And her light was like unto a stone most precious.
Going through the motions, you know. Going through the motions, you know. Going through the motions, you know. Going through the motions, going through the motions, you know. Going through the motions, you know. Going through the motions. Colors of day dawn into the mind. The sun has come up, the night is behind. Go down into the city, into the street, and let's give a message to the people we meet. So light up the fire, let the flame burn. Open the door, let Jesus return. Take seed of his spirit, let the fruit grow. Tell the people of Jesus, let his love show.
Our Lady does show all that glitters is not gold, and you can't find your stairway up to heaven. If you get there, you'll know the stars are all gold, and it was well worth waiting to get it. The light of day is sweet and pleasant to the eye, but remember days of darkness as life passes by. Remember your creator in the days of your youth, when the guardians of the house tremble and young men just stood, when songbirds are silent and street doors are shut, when children rise against parents and put them to death, and you shall be hated by all men for believing in God, but persevere to the end, for you shall be saved. God is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. God will let the thirsty drink water of life without end. And for all your faithfulness, what's happening to you? The lake of fire and brimstone waits at hell for you. John saw new heaven, and he saw a new earth, and he saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem from God. And I heard the Lord voice crying, God shall wipe the tears from your eyes, and death shall be no more, no pain, no desire. Day is sweet, pleasant to the eye, but remember, days of darkness, this life passes by. You should be hated by all men for believing in God, but persevere to the end, for you should be saved.
Gangs, if you like. Got myself into trouble with police, drugs, booze. I knew I needed something else, but I didn't know it was Jesus. And then I met 4 Christians who did their best to convert me, which didn't work too clever, because I just couldn't see anything, what they had to offer I needed. So I met 4 other Christians who took me to like, a free church. I really admired the guy that was preaching, but I didn't believe in what he said for 1 minute. I tried to really prove his faith to be a load of rubbish. Jesus didn't exist. It was a load of rubbish and there was nothing to it. I found out I couldn't. I found out it was the only truth in the whole world that I could believe in. It was the only word that wouldn't let you down. And I just came to love Jesus that way. I was a real piece of slime. If I would have taken the pennies off a dead man's eyes before, I'd absolutely no respect for nobody. Jesus just don't know I knew well to me.